Hello friends, myself Aniket Nikam. In this video, we are going to solve previous year PYQs of NIC for DMMS subject. So I am solving more than 50-60 questions. All the questions that have been asked in previous year question papers like Scientist B, Scientist C, Scientist D, as well as Technical Assistant A and Technical Assistant B, C, etc. So now please watch this video very carefully. It will definitely help you to crack the NIC exam, and some questions are very simple based on some logic, and most of the points I have covered in my video series available on NPTEL. So please don't forget to subscribe the channel with notification button. So let's start with the first question. Now this question have been asked in December 2018 for Scientist B NILET exam. So this question says, identify the true statement from the given statements. Okay, now first statement they are giving the lossless dependency preserving decomposition into 3NF is always possible, and second statement, any relation with the two attributes is in BCNF. Okay, so now in my video I have discussed that the property of 3NF as well as BCNF. So this is 3NF will be always 3NF decomposition will be always lossless join as well as dependency preserving property. Okay, now this statement is true, but BCNF, if BCNF gives lossless join property, then it may or may not give functional dependency preserving property. Okay, so now that is we should understand. Second statement, any relation with the two attributes is in BCNF. Okay, so if we have two attributes, let's say A determine B is one of the functional dependency, and we have it for relation R AB. So now in this case relation AB is said to be BCNF because A is always super key. When left hand side is only a super key, that time we can say that this is in BCNF. Okay, so BCNF means what? It should be also in 2NF. It is also in 3NF because it don't have partial dependency, it don't have transitive dependency. Okay, so in this way we can say that the option C 1 and 2 is correct. Okay, now we will solve the next question. The next question says that, okay, so this is the next question. Now what is in this asking these questions, you can see that we are given like A determine B different functional dependencies. Okay, so the functional dependencies are A determine B, B determines C, D determine E, F determine D, F determine G, and F determine H, and EF determines I. Those are the functional dependencies. So they are asking that the relation E day AB is in which normal form? First it is in 2NF, it is in 3NF, BCNF, and none of the above. Okay, now this type of questions have been asked many times in examination of NIC. In one question paper I found two similar questions of this kind, and in GATE also this kind of question is asked regularly. So now how to solve this question? First we will find out the candidate keys and primary key for this relationship. Main is candidate key. So how to find out candidate key? So first we will try to find out candidate key by having closure. So we will start with the first closure. So that closure is, now first closure we have is, we can start with A closure. So when we have A closure, it is like A closure will be A determine itself A, then we will have A determine B, so I can add here B, B determines C, I can add here C, but I will not move ahead. Okay, now if I do the B closure, so B closure will be B determine B, B determines C, and C does not determine anything, and B is not determining anything. Okay, so now B closure will be this. Now if I combine A and B, I will get only this ABC. So now if I find out D closure, so what will be D closure? D determines D, then D determine E. Okay, then E determine again D, so we have D here again. No, okay, we will not have more than this. So if I combine A closure and D closure, AD closure, then I will have A determines A itself, A determine ABC, A closure is ABC, and D closure is D and E. So I can get this attribute only. But for becoming a key, candidate key, this AD should be deriving all the attributes in the relation. Now in this case we don't have. What we can do, we will we can do for, let's say, E. If I find out E closure, so what is E closure? E determines E, E determines D, Okay, so again determines E itself. Okay, I do not have more than this, and that's it. Okay, now if I will add here, let's say I will find out F closure. So what will be F closure? F closure is equal to, F closure is F determines F G H, okay, F G H, and that's it. Okay, now if I will combine, okay, and EF determines EF I don't have, if I combine ADF, then ADF can be a key. Okay, look at how ADF can be a key, it's very simple. So now ADF, okay, so ADF is going to determine all the attributes. How to solve this problem? ADF closure will be, now A determines A determines ABC, we have found out, then D determines E, okay, I can add here D determines E, E determines again D we have, and we have F here, so I can have here F, F determines G, F determines H, and EF determines I. So understand, ADF is will become a key in this case. Okay, so now again we will check whether you can see D here, D is determined by E. Okay, so D is determined by E. So if I write here A, E, F, that time I can say that this is also a key. So now candidate keys are two. Candidate keys are two. Which are the candidate keys? A, D, F and A, E, F. Okay, both are the keys. Now what are the prime attributes? So prime attributes will be, in this case, A, D, E and F. Okay, now if I choose like ADF is a key, then key attribute will be A, D and F. Okay, now if when there is a relationship between, now when this we have to check the normal form of the table, we have to find out whether we have partial dependency. If we have partial dependency, then table is not in 2NF. If partial dependency is not exist, we can say that table is in 2NF. Okay, when table will be in 2NF, we will check for transitive dependency. So when transitive dependency is there, we can say that table is in 3NF. Okay, so when transitive dependency is there, so table not in 3NF. Okay, when transitive dependency is not there, we can say that table will be in 3NF. Okay, so now we have to start with the 2NF first, because already considered it is in 1NF. So now how to find out the, you can say transitive dependency, partial dependency? We will start with partial dependency. Now when there will be relation, when the part of key determining non-key attribute, okay, or any attribute, you can say that that time we have partial dependency. Now how to find out? Okay, so let's stick with what are the key attributes ADF. So A is common in both cases, and E, okay, D and E is, F is common. Okay, so A and F we will check first. So A determine B is again partial dependency, and F determine G is also partial dependency. If you think about prime attribute, then again D will be this partial dependency, and this will be again partial dependency. So we have so many partial dependency. When at least one partial dependency is there, it is sufficient to say that table not in 2NF. So we have 4 partial dependencies, we can say that table not in 2NF. So when table not in 2NF means what? It is not in also 3NF. It is not in 3NF means what? It is also not in BCNF. Okay, so the option is D, none of the above. Okay, so now we will see the next question. So now next question is about the foreign key constraint, and it is very interesting question. And this type of questions I have asked, I found it 2 questions asked till now about this foreign key. Okay, now we will read the question. The following table has 2 attributes X and Y, where X is the primary key and Y is the foreign key, referencing X with on delete cascade. Okay, now what is they are saying that this X is the primary key and Y is a foreign key. Means what? This foreign key is reference to the primary key of the own table. And what is on delete cascade? On delete cascade means when we are going to delete, let's say we are going to delete this 2 4, that time we can understand that this 2, we have to check where 2 is like foreign key in other table. So we can see here. Now when we will delete this row, the 2 primary key, so this reference of this 2 is not having any value. So on delete cascade says that if it is deleted, then this should also be deleted. Okay, so that is what on delete cascade. So we will check with example. Now they are asking in the question that the set of all tuples must have been additionally deleted to preserve referential integrity. What is referential integrity? So that referencing to the primary key, foreign key referencing to the primary key should be existing. Okay, so that is what reference integrity. Now in this case, understand the set of all tuples that must be additionally deleted to preserve the referential integrity when the tuple 3 4 is deleted. So they are asking when we are going to delete 3 4. So assume that we are deleted 3 4. What will happen when we will delete 3 4? So now interesting. Now check that this is a foreign key and this is a primary key. So first we will check that primary key is deleted. This is the important question. Foreign key is deleted, it can be a null column. Foreign key can be a twice, foreign key can be a null, no problem. But this primary key is deleted. Now this 3 is deleted. We will check where this is having which is referencing to this 3. We have to check foreign key as a similar as a 3. In this case we are getting this again, no. So we are going to delete this because these 3 have no meaning for preserving referential integrity. Now when we are going to delete this 4 3, 4 is also we have to check whether it is which referencing. So this 4 is referencing to this, means what, this 4 should be also deleted. So when we are going to delete this, okay, now again we will have 4 in this, we are to check which 4 we have. Here you can get 4, means what, this reference should be also be preserved, so this should also be deleted. Okay, so now when we are going to delete 3 4, so how much rows will be deleted? First we will be deleted 3 4 itself, then we are going to delete 2 4, then 3 4 4 3, okay, 2 4, then 4 3, then we are going to delete 6 4. Okay, now we have to check the option. This is the correct option, 3 4 4 3 6 4. They have not given 2 4, but it will be also in option. Okay, so hence this is a maximum, having maximum occurrences, so this D option is correct. Okay, now this kind of questions are very important, and also it confuses bit to student, but when we practice then you can solve those kind of questions very easily. Okay, so move toward the next question. Okay, so this have been asked in 22 July, scientist B ICERT IT. Okay, now in tuple relational calculus, P determines P2 is equivalent to. Okay, so now this is very interesting. Now we can solve this question using, you can say that we can solve this with relational algebra. Now in this example, if we draw the truth table like this, now this is similarly Boolean algebra. Now we will check with, now this is actually rule says that if P1 determines P2, that is equivalent to not P1 or P2. Okay, so let's verify this with truth table. Now P1 P2 I have drawn like T T F F F T and TF. So P implies Q will be true when this will be all will be like this is true, FF also true, FT also true, but when true implies like this implies false, TF will be always false. Okay, now we will have like truth table for not P, not P1. So now P not P1 will be FT TF. Okay, not of this, and then we will have OR operation with not P1 and P2. So when we will have OP operation, so TF now P2 with not P1, so P1 implies P2 will be true, then not P1 implies P2 will be also you can say that OR. Okay, so this is OR operation, so TF this is true, this OR operation will be true, this OR operation true, but when both are false in OR it becomes false. So you can say this truth table equivalent to this truth table, so option A is correct. Okay, so in this way we can solve this type of questions. So look at the next question. Now they are asking that in SQL query, this is very important question to solve. Okay, now we will read the question. In the SQL query involves not and or with no parenthesis. Okay, now how to solve this type of question? Not will be evaluated first and will be evaluated second, or will be evaluated last. B, not will be evaluated first or will be evaluated second, and will be evaluated last. And C, and will be evaluated first or will be evaluated second, not will be evaluated last. The order of occurrences determines the order of evolution. So now how to solve this kind of question? Now we have to understand, in this example we have to know the order of the question, like order of the not and an or. Okay, so now we should be knowing the option. So now option A is correct, not will be evaluated first and will be evaluated second, or will be evaluated last, because that is a sequence. You can check with example in your database like MySQL or Oracle. You can try this, but this is the correct option. Okay, now let's move towards different more question. Now table joined with itself is called a join, b you can say self join, c is a outer join, and d is equal join. Okay, so now this definitely the answer will be b, self join. Okay, because it is itself with join, this is called self join. Now next question, consider the join of relation R with relation S. If R has m tuples and S has n tuples, then the maximum size of join is. So this is very important question that we should be solving. So how to understand, like understand on this example, we have to consider the important thing is that now see that table S may be having two attributes, let's say AB, and table AC may be having the two attributes, let's say R may be having AC. Now here A is a column, okay, is unique value, having unique same values. Now if we do this, then how to, if we take the join of S and R, then we will have like cases like we will have like this one with everybody. Okay, now we will have actually m into this is m to n, because let's say 1 2, now the join will be A, let's say B A C. Okay, now this join will consist of maximum size we have asked. So now let's say the simple is 1, okay, then 1. Okay, so now for under simplicity I am just having those values. Okay, so let's say 1 2 3. Okay, now C value is 3. Again I will have 1 5. Okay, so this will be like this. So A is in middle, so I will write here B 2 1 3, because 1 has relationship with 3 also and 2 also. In this case 1 has relationship with 5 also, and again you can say 3 also. Okay, so now here if you understand, if it will be multiplied like 2 into 1, okay, that will be m and rows column, so it will be 2. Again if I add one row, like this is suppose 1 and let's say 8, now it will be again what I will get is 1 5, so 1 will be common, so in this case I will have again 2, and we will have 8, and again 5 1, and I will have 8. In this way it will total number of columns records will be 2 into 2, so always it will be maximum size of join will be n. Okay, so now for understanding this question you can understand. Now we will look at this next question. Before that, you can also find out what are the minimum number of tuples when we will have join. So understand, when we don't have anything in common, that time so minimum number in this question will be 0, because no row will be in common, so the minimum number can be a 0. This is asked in ISRO question also. Okay, look at this next question. AS clause is used in SQL for selection operation, rename operation, join operation, and projection operation. Now this as clause we use in SQL, like we can say that select, we can use select, let's say star from, okay, let's say table student. Okay, so now in this query we can replace this star with select, let's say name, as I can write here student name. Okay, student name. So this will be as clause, so this is used for rename operation. Okay, now next question is related fields in a database are grouped into form so now in related fields, how we can group together, that is very important. Data file, data record, and menu. So option is B, data record. Okay, now because one record, let's say we have the tables like this, so now those are the attributes, and this is tuple T1 T2. So now all tuples are called as related, are called as data record. Next question is cross product is a unary operator, ternary operator, binary operator, and not an operator. So the answer is cross product is a binary operator. Okay, so now this we should be understanding, because it operates on two like tables, we can have a cross. Okay, and with this is, that's why this is called as binary operator. Okay, Now we will look the next questions. Now this question have been asked. Consider the following 4 schedules due to 3 transactions indicated by the subscript using the read and write on data item X denoted by Rx and Wx respectively. Which one of them is a conflict serializable schedule? Okay. Now we have to understand this. Now how to understand this is a conflict serializable? This is very important question we should be understanding. In this case, what we will do is, now how to solve this question, it's very important. So what is definition of conflict serializable? If it is equivalent to, it's equivalent to the serial schedule. Okay, this is called conflict serializable, but I have the shortcut method for finding out the conflict serializable. Okay, now we will start with the first. Now actually the transaction, how many transactions we have? In this case the transactions we have are 3 transactions. Let's say T1, T2 and T3. So we have 3 transactions. Now we have to create a 3 transactions, T1, T2 and T3, that is given. Now we will solve like this. T1, first transaction. Now I will have second transaction T2 and this is T3. Okay, so I am having 3 transactions. Now look at the question. Now first is, I will start with this R1x. So this is, I can write like this, R2x because second read operation, and again I will have Wx, and next I will have W2x. Okay, sorry, R3x. So I will write here Rx, and then next will be W2x. Okay, now what are the conflict operations? So conflict operations will be read and suppose on same data read and write is there, that is conflict operation. On same data read, write as well as write is there, that will be same data. And if it is having write and read, that will be also on same data. That will be 3 are the conflict operations. So for conflict operations one should be at least write, and they are operating on the same data. So here you can have y. So if it is y here, this is not conflict operation. Okay, it should be only x on same data. Now we have to find out how to solve this kind of problem. Now first thing what we have to do is, we have to create a cycle. Okay, now understand what I am doing is, I will write here first graph T1, T2 and T3. Okay, now I have to check. Okay, so now with direction I will do this. Please look at, now T1 to T2 we have to check. So transaction T1, understand, I can write a capital T for understanding. Now this transaction is read X. So now T1 to T2, can we have conflict between read and read? No. Okay, so can we have conflict between read and write X of T2? Yes. So what I can do, I can write like this symbol. Okay, this is what, like you can say conflict operation. Okay, or directly you can write a straight line, no problem. T1, T2. Okay, next can you find out between T2 and T3? Here you can get write operation before read X, so it is from T1 to T3. Okay, so I will write like this, T1 to T3. Now second operation will be, okay, I will check for T2. Can we have T2 to T1 read write? Yes, I can have T2 to T1, so I can write like this, T2 to T1. Again next will be T2 to T1, and then I have to check for T3 to T1, T3 to T2, Rx, Wx. Is there conflict operation? Yes, so I can have conflict operation. So see, look at the conflict operations. I am writing like this. Okay, here I will have like this. Here also read no. Okay, read and write yes. Okay, and again write and read x. That will be conflict operations. So in this case you can understand that here I will write between T3 to T2, T3 to T2. Okay, so now when we will have cycle form, so can you get cycle here? Let's look at this. Okay, T1 to T3, T3 to T2 and T2 to T1. So this is cycle. So when there is a cycle, you can easily understand, say that here we don't have conflict, no conflict serializable, no conflict serializability. Okay, so we cannot like, this is a important test, please remember this test. Now we will look at the second question. Okay, second problem, second option, how to solve the second option. Okay, now second will be in similar way we are going to do this. You can also try while by stopping video, and you can predict the correct option. I'm going to tell you that the correct answer, but you can also try if you wish. That is for practice purpose. Okay, now we will solve with the second. Now I will have T1 transaction, T2, okay, T3. So look at this transaction table. Now how to understand this transaction table? Okay, so now we will draw. First is R2X. Okay, so now this is, I'm going this R2X, so I will write first in transaction 2, that is Rx, then R1X, then W2X, okay, then R3X, okay, then W1X. This is the schedule you can get. Now we will find out cycle is here. In this case we have cycle or not. Now I will again write T1, T2 and T3 transaction. Okay, now we have to check when we have cycle, then we can say that it is not CS. When we do not have cycle, we can say that is CS. Okay, now we will start with T2. Now understand conflict operations. T2 to T1, Rx, Rx. In this case we don't have any conflicting operation, but T2 to T1 we have, okay, because read and write operation. So T2 to T1 I will write age like this. Now next we will check with T2 to T3. Do we have T2 to T3? We don't have, but in this case write and read we have. So T2 to T3 I can write. Okay, now next is we will start with T1. T1 to T2, do we have? Yes, we have read and write conflict. T2 to T1, okay, T2 to T1 we already have written. T1 to T2 we have T1 to T2, and next we will do with T3. T1 to T3 we don't have, okay, because this right is after this X, because this is last right. Okay, so now we don't have here any conflict operation, but T3 to T1 we have. T3 to T1 we have conflict operation. Okay, now T3 to T1 we have read and write conflict. Okay, so that's it. I think we have covered all. T2 to T1 also we have done with, and that's it. Okay, T1 to T3 we don't have, that is we have written. So in this case we can see the cycle T2 to T3, T1 to T2. Okay, so this is cycle again, and so this cycle proves that this is not CS. Okay, so this is not the option. Now option A1 is not correct, 2 is not correct. Now we will move towards the next option, that is option number 3rd. Okay, now this is very interesting example. Many students become confused and they apply different technique, but this is the most shortcut technique, but we have to understand just find out looping. Even we can also find out the sequence of transactions. Okay, conflict serializable transactions. So we will go for third option. So I will write here 3 transaction, T1, T2 and T3. Okay, so now T1, T2 and T3. In this case first is Rx, read X. Okay, then I will have R2X, then I will have R1X, then I have W2X, then W1X. Okay, write X. So this is like operation. So again I will, what we will do, we will have T1, T2 and T3. Okay, 3 transactions. So let's start from T3. T3 to T1 we don't have like any conflict operation, read here, but here read and write we have. So T3 to T2, this is conflict operation. Then next state, in this case of T3 to T1, check T3 to T1, here read no, read write we have. So T3 to T1 we have this conflict operation. Then when we will go for next, that will be T2 to T1, check here read no, but read write we have. So T2 to T1 we have conflict operation. And again, okay, T2 to T1, T2 to T3 no option. Okay, because no any read and write instruction here. Now we will start with again T1 to T2. Do we have T1 to T2? T1 to T2. So in this case you can understand T1 read write, yes we have. So T1 to T2 also we are having this operation. Okay, again we will check for T1 to T2, T2 to T3, T2 to T3. Do we have? No. Then T3 to T1, T3 to T1 we have read. Okay, so we have written T3 to T1 and T3 to T2. So T1 and T3 we don't have, T2 to T3 we don't have. So this is the final graph. So in this case it is question that do we have cycle or not. So definitely we get cycle here because T1 to T2 to T1 and T1 to T2, it is cycle. Okay, so now this cycle proves that again if you go like this. Okay, so this is a cycle and this one cycle, this state that this is in not CS. Okay, this is not conflict serializable. Okay, so now we will go for the fourth option. So now according to this technique definitely the option is fourth, but we will check with the same logic and same example. So in this case we should not have any cycle in the graph we are going to draw. Okay, so now the first thing is again we will draw the three transaction T1, T2 and T3. Okay, so T1, T2 and T3 we are checking with 4. Now R2x we are going to write here read x, then write x for R2 again, write x, then R3x read x, then R1x that is read x here in T1 and W1x that is in T1. Okay, so now if you understand all the operations they are on the same, you can say same variable, that is x, same data. But now thing is here this is actually a serial schedule because first T2 is executing, this is T3 is executing, then T1 is executing. So this is already a serial schedule and it should be having consistency. It will not give any inconsistency problem. Okay, when we have concurrent schedule, that time the different instruction of different transaction will be like concurrent. After like T1, T2 will be there, after T2, T1 will be there, like previous example. So we can say that this is the correct option. Now we want to have a graph with our technique. We can have a graph here T2, T1, T2 and T3. Understand, we will start with T2. Read and read no have, read and write we have. So T2 to T1 this is 1, then another will be again T2 to T1 read write we have done. T2 to T3 Wx and read x, do we have here T2 to T3 Wx, Rx, read x and write x we have. Okay, so T2 to T3. Okay, and again T3 to T1 do we have, T3 to T1 we have. Okay, so can we have like T2 to T2 to T1 we have, T2 to T3 we have. Now we check with T3 to T1, T3 to T1 we have, and okay, this is only. So in this case you understand we don't have any cycle here because for cycle it should be like this on the same direction. Okay, now it should be on this like this same direction, but it is actually T2 to T1. So we don't have any cycle. So when we don't have cycle, no cycle means what? Serializable schedule. Okay, so please important note this is very important question asked in many questions. Okay, so now in the next video, like second part of this video, we will solve some more problems. Thank you very much. If you like the video, I am having the all problems, so we are going to solve all the problems now, more than like 50-60 problems. Now if you like the video, please like, and if you have any question you can write in comment, I will answer that. And please don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching the video.